React was created by Jordan Walk, a software engineer at Facebook, who released an early prototype of React called ReactJS. He was influenced by XHP, an HTML component library for PHP. It was first deployed on Facebook's newsfeed in 2011 and later on Instagram in 2012. It was open-sourced at SkinFuS in May 2013. React Native, which enables native Android, iOS, and UWP development with React, was announced at Facebook's ReactConf in February 2015 and open-sourced in March 2015. On April 18, 2017, Facebook announced React Fiber, a new set of internal algorithms for rendering, as opposed to React's old rendering algorithm, Stack. React Fiber was to become the foundation of any future improvements and feature development of the React library. The actual syntax for programming with React does not change. Only the way that the syntax is executed has changed. React's old rendering system, Stack, was developed at a time when the focus of the system on dynamic change was not understood. Stack was slow to draw complex animation, for example, trying to accomplish all of it in one chunk. Fiber breaks down animation into segments that can be spread out over multiple frames. Likewise, the structure of a page can be broken into segments that may be maintained and updated separately. JavaScript functions and virtual DOM objects are called fibers, and each can be operated and updated separately, allowing for smoother on-screen rendering. On September 26, 2017, React 16.0 was released to the public. On February 16, 2019, React 16.8 was released to the public. The release introduced React hooks. On August 10, 2020, the React team announced the first release candidate for React v1 7.0, notable as the first major release without major changes to the React developer-facing API. React is a free and open-source front-end JavaScript library for building user interfaces or AI components and even server-side rendering via ReactJS. It is maintained by Facebook and a community of individual developers and companies. React can be used as a base in the development of single-page or mobile applications. React code is made of entities called components. Components can be rendered to a particular element in the DOM using the React DOM library. When rendering a component, one can pass in values that are known as props. The two primary ways of declaring components in React is via function components and class-based components. Virtual DOM. Another notable feature is the use of a virtual document object model, or virtual DOM. React creates an in-memory data structure cache, computes the resulting differences, and then updates the browser's display DOM efficiently. This process is called reconciliation. This allows the programmer to write code as if the entire page is rendered on each change, while the React libraries only render subcomponents that actually change. This selective rendering provides a major performance boost. It saves the effort of recalculating the CSS style, layout for the page and rendering for the entire page. Lifecycle methods. Lifecycle methods use a form of hooking that allows the execution of code at set points during a component's lifetime. Show component update allows the developer to prevent unnecessary re-rendering of a component by returning false if a render is not required. Component demount is called once the component is mounted. This is commonly used to trigger data loading from a remote source via an API. Component will unmount is called immediately before the component is torn down or unmounted. This is commonly used to clear resource-demanding dependencies to the component that will not simply be removed with the unmounting of the component, for example, removing any set interval instances that are related to the component, or an event listener set on the document because of the presence of the component. Render is the most important lifecycle method and the only required one in any component. It is usually called every time the component's state is updated, which should be reflected in the user interface.